If any Republican did what Gavin Newsom just did, their political career would be over. So this whole saga began when conservative commentator Benny Johnson went on Fox News to discuss the fraud, waste, and abuse being uncovered in California. This is a look at how that segment unfolded.
Benny, so I'm doing it wrong. I should have just listed my house as a daycare center, and I would have been living with no mortgage.
I think it's incredible what's happening to Gavin Newsom. He's turning into Cruella de Vil before our very eyes with that hairstyle and color. He is really getting spooked. You're watching the man age in real time between what Nick Shirley is exposing and between what your show is exposing and what we were able to find with the homeless fraud. It's really left to wonder what's real in California. It's certainly not Ilhan Omar's fake winery. Is there anything in California that is left that actually will serve the people living there? And I don't think there is. That's why voter ID has just got one on the ballot. It's going to be on the ballot in November. It's why two Republicans are polling number one and number two far away in large margins, Jesse, for the next governor.
By the way, that is 100% true. There is a possibility that the Republicans are going to sweep the top two spots in the California gubernatorial primaries. And because it's not divided based on Republican or Democrat, that would mean if that actually holds until June, that means a Republican will be the next governor of California. That would be huge news. So Benny Johnson shared his Fox News segment on X, and guess who responded? That's right. It was Governor Newsom's official PR account. They didn't attempt to deny any of the allegations of fraud, waste, or abuse. They didn't even provide counter-arguments to the arguments presented on that segment. Instead, they decided to take cheap personal shots at Benny Johnson himself. They reposted the segment and wrote this: "We got a call from Grindr after this, and they said your team was their biggest users. Congratulations." And as you can see, it has the official checkmark. So yes, this is Newsom's official PR account. For those of you unfamiliar, Grindr is a gay hookup app. It's similar to Tinder and Bumble, except it's exclusively for gay men. So obviously what Governor Newsom's team is doing here is they are accusing Benny Johnson of being gay. And they're also accusing the team around Benny of being gay as well. Oh, all of them use Grindr so much to hook up with other men that they're actually the app's #1 users. And that's what Gavin Newsom's press office was saying. Right there in plain text, right before your eyes. You don't even have to read in between the lines. Of course, Benny Johnson is happily married to a woman, and they both have wonderful children. The irony in all of this is that the Democrats, for years, they claim that they are the party of tolerance. They claim they're the party of diversity and that they're the great allies of the gay community. If that's the case, then why are you using gay as a slur? Why is it an insult to call your political enemy gay, to accuse him of using Grindr? Someone please make this make sense. Again, if a Republican politician, if a Republican's press office did this, they would be accused of being homophobic. They would be canceled by the mainstream media, by sponsors, by donors, by corporations. Yet Gavin Newsom can do this time and time again. Yes, this wasn't the first time he has used being gay, used Grindr as a slur against not just political opponents, but against Benny Johnson specifically. But before we get to that, Benny Johnson himself did respond to this post. He wrote on X, "Your reaction to journalists exposing fraud in your state is to smear us with lies and never to fix the fraud. Americans hate fraud, Gavin. We're tired of being ripped off. Stop attacking the people who are doing your job and trying to end the fraud. People are over it." Just for your reference, Benny Johnson's post got more likes, got more engagement than Gavin Newsom's original post attacking Benny Johnson. So you just gotta love that. But what's really odd is Governor Newsom, his press team, they have a weird obsession with Grindr. Yeah, they have a weird obsession with this gay hookup app. Just take a look at this. Way back in January, Governor Newsom's press office posted this: "We'll make sure the Grindr servers are ready, ... And he, again, was targeting Benny Johnson there. But it wasn't just Benny. He's also gone after Tom McDonald. Here, Governor Newsom's press office. "Bro, we get it, but he's not interested. Stick to Grindr." Why is Newsom's team so obsessed with sexualized jokes? Why are they obsessed with Grindr? Isn't that a little, I don't know, odd and peculiar? I mean, they've been doing sexualized things for quite a while. Don't forget, he was the one who was once selling knee pads on his website. Remember, just a few weeks ago, he was at the World Economic Forum and said European leaders, they need to get on their knees. They need knee pads because they all worship and suck up to President Trump. I mean, he has a really gross history of sexualizing all these things. And to accuse someone of being gay, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, when kids made fun of other kids or accused other kids, or went on witch hunts against gay people, it was usually the people throwing the stones that were gay themselves. And it's not just about homosexuality. I think that's true for most things in life. I mean, come on. We all know that Democrats have a habit. They have a history of projecting. What they accuse you of doing, what they accuse you of being, is usually what they are themselves. So it's interesting that Governor Newsom, not only did he attack Benny Johnson, but he also attacked Nick Shirley. And he accused, or he implied, that Nick Shirley is a pedophile. You cannot make this stuff up. So in order to understand this next insult, you actually have to take a look at what Nick Shirley uncovered in California. Again, you can't make this up. I mean, this is just, if you haven't seen this clip yet, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Would you guys vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028?
I vote for him because he got me released from coming home from a life sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So
he didn't hold me back. He didn't hold me back. He signed off saying I'm fit for society. So yes, I would vote for Gavin Newsom.
What were you locked up for, if you don't mind me asking?
I was locked up for murder, carjacking, and robbery.
So someone who was locked up for murder, carjacking, and battery, who had a life sentence, was released thanks to Governor Newsom, and that's why he's going to vote for Newsom and vote for a Democrat. Absolutely insane. And the fact that Nick Shirley not only got that on camera, but was able to spread that video, make it go viral, is even more insane. But what's even more insane than that is Governor Newsom's press office response to Nick Shirley. So they didn't deny that video. They didn't, again, they didn't provide any counter argument. Instead, they took a personal shot at Nick Shirley. So when that video went viral, Newsom's team posted this: Nick Shirley right now. For those of you listening on the podcast and not watching on YouTube, it's this meme, this photo of a creepy looking dude saying, "Hey, can I see your kids?" And his body is covered with cameras. And the insinuation, the implication here, of course, is that Nick Shirley is a creep and he wants to take videos and photos of your children for just perverse purposes. That is the only way to interpret that photo. Not only was the Minneapolis daycare scandal a few weeks ago at this point, the meme is inappropriate in the first place, and so it wouldn't have mattered if he had posted this when Nick Shirley dropped those videos. But for him to just bring this out of nowhere, it completely has nothing to do with the latest videos that Nick Shirley has dropped exposing the fraud, exposing the waste and abuse in California. For them to take this cheap shot at Nick Shirley is just absolutely gross, and unfortunately, we shouldn't be surprised, but no Democrats, with the exception of one, has come up in defense of Nick Shirley. They're all either staying silent or they're actually cheering on Gavin Newsom. It was actually John Fetterman who went on national TV and said, "Hey, this is inappropriate. Newsom should not be doing this, and he definitely shouldn't be targeting a new young journalist who's just trying to do some good in the world."
Why can't you celebrate any journalist or any, activist doing that? And what, Governor Newsom put out a disgusting video implying that he's, a pedophile or he's that. Like, why? That's like kind of a smear. You want to disagree, but to imply that someone in one of the most gross kinds of terms like that, it's like, hey, shouldn't we agree? Eliminate all the waste. If it exists under my purview, let's eliminate it. Let's call that what it is. I'm not going to call someone or imply that you're a pedophile or you're going after kids in gross ways.
It's just absolutely disgusting what Gavin Newsom is doing here. And look, the left, the Democrats, the media, they're going to say, but President Trump did it. But look, when President Trump is brash and abrasive, he has a purpose with it. Whether or not you like it, he usually does it in the sense of marketing and branding. For example, the best example, I think, is when he called Hillary Clinton Crooked Hillary. So whenever they talked about fraud, whenever they talked about waste in government, whenever they talked about any sort of impropriety or wrongdoing, it really stuck because she's already been branded as crooked Hillary. What Gavin Newsom is doing is he's not even branding his political opponents. He's just insulting them. Oh, Benny Johnson is gay, even though Democrats supposedly love gay people or are allies. Oh, I'm going to use that as an insult now. Oh, Nick Shirley, he's obviously a pedophile. That is the implication. There's no other way to view that meme from Gavin Newsom. Well, Nick Shirley himself actually responded to that meme on News Nation. But before we get into that, I would like to acknowledge the members of today's Governor's Club. They are Benyet Ralph, Young Smith, RFT, Jenny Renkin, Just Judy, Peace Out, and Mick Trim. These are people who give tips and super thanks to the channel. I am so glad that you enjoy, and I'm glad that you're here. Well, Nick Shirley, he has thick skin, and he knew that these sorts of attacks would be coming his way, and this was his response.
California Governor Gavin Newsom's press office posted this picture mocking you for work uncovering fraud in his state. What do you think? Why do you think he's responding to you rather than going to the same businesses, in quotes, and asking for more documentation about what they're actually doing there and maybe auditing their books?
Yeah, I think they're trying to intimidate other people from doing what I did because they know the fraud's so deep. Unfortunately for them, it backfired very bad. And so I've given them the opportunity, and other posts I said, let's work together. If you think there's fraud, let's go do it. And I mean, if I was the governor, I would be happy that the fraud was exposed and then figuring out how to crack down on this fraud. Instead, he attacked the journalist who exposed the fraud.
Yeah, I thought that was a great point that Nick Shirley made. And again, he wasn't attacking Governor Newsom personally. He was just going after all of these organizations accused of doing fraudulent activity. Now, look, what Newsom and his team are doing is gross, disgusting, and just unbecoming for someone who wants to be president of the United States. But it kind of makes me excited because this is a preview of how Newsom's going to run his campaign. And if he runs his entire campaign this way, he's going to run it into the ground. I mean, he's going to alienate the gay community. He's going to alienate the coalition that helps Democrats. He's going to alienate suburban moms, people who hate name calling. He's going to alienate independents. What he's doing right now is just absolutely divisive. It's childish. It's immature. It's not going to help him in the slightest. If anything, it makes him look like a creep. It makes him look like someone who is obsessed with sex and sexualized jokes. It's going to make him look like a pervert. Seriously, take a look at the pattern here. Oh, I'm going to accuse someone and their team of using Grindr. I'm going to talk about knee pads. I'm going to say that European leaders need to be knee pads. And oh, by the way, I sold knee pads on my campaign website. And then I'm going to accuse this young kid who's trying to make a name for himself, who's trying to do some good in the world. I'm going to accuse him of being a pedophile. I mean, there's just this track record here, and that is just the beginning. That's just the tip of the iceberg. This cannot possibly end well for Gavin Newsom. As always, though, this is just my commentary and analysis. This is what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So what do you think about these insults from Gavin Newsom? Do you think he's landed any blows, or do you think it's all backfired and just makes him look like a child? Let me know your thoughts, your comments down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.